What wisdom or lessons do you bring from your life on the reservation out into the broader community? What lessons could all of us learn from what is just foundational there?
Foundation at home is much of what I'm doing now, and I came into it, so it's been there. And that's the importance of community. You know, for us, it's importance of tribe, but when you talk about tribe, it's a broad community. The importance of community, the importance of giving, the importance of leadership, respecting leadership too. And we could teach that, because we're much more, in many ways, more forgiving of our leaders sometimes than I see elsewhere. You know, it's like we've
evidence of respect. You know,
respect.
I may disagree with you, but I will say
respect.
In a respectful way.
Yes, yes, yes. You don't have to hurt people as much as I see sometimes that happens. That's not what I grew up with.
And I don't think the polarization that happens in a lot of our conversations, you know, in America, advance solutions.
Right.
I mean, I really like your thinking about focusing on the strengths.
Yeah.
And children need messages they can succeed, not that you messed up.
You're right.
You know.
Right. And people need that.
In one speech, you talked about the trauma that American Indians carry with them every day, all the time. You know, and I'm sure the spirituality helps with the healing, but what else is needed for the healing to happen?
I think part of it is an acknowledgement that it's really there. It's really a historical trauma, and it's based on, I think, many things. One of the big things, and I've learned so much about this, is the boarding school experience that so many American Indians were impacted by. And I was talking to my aunts. I have an aunt that's 79, one that's 81 that's still alive, and I said, you know, my mother went to Catholic boarding school, and she had stories she'd tell me, so it's impacted my life. But I don't think on my dad's side, that was, these aunts are sisters of my father, that it really impacted you. And they told me that their mother had gone to my grandmother had gone to a boarding school, and then they told me she didn't really know how to be a mother when she came back, because they took her when she was 5 or 6, and she wasn't returned to the reservation until she was 16 or 17 and gone, and she didn't know how to be a parent.
Right.
She knew how to be, she was raised in a school.
Yeah, she could maybe be a friend.
She just didn't know how.
Yeah.
And then they told me my grandpa taught her how to be a parent, and I had never known that, and I thought, gee, I knew it impacted one side but not the other. And they said, yeah, it was tough. And then they'll tell stories. Once the stories start coming, I mean, they're not very deep, and it hurts, and hurt is trauma, and many of us haven't dealt with that much.
You said the trauma needs to be acknowledged. Acknowledged by whom?
I think it has to be acknowledged by us, for one.
Okay.
Because it's easier just to medicate. Sometimes I see that alcoholism, the high rate there has really helped dull a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain with that loss. The loss of our people that went to schools, and that's one piece of it. The loss of the land, the loss of the truly the independence that was there for many years, and yet a lot of people fought for. And I think that's why so many tribes right now fight so much for sovereignty, because that's independence, and that's something that we cannot lose again. That's how it's seen. So, but beneath all of that there's still this intergenerational trauma that exists for all of us, for many of us. I know that for a fact.
And if the acknowledgement you think is from yourselves, that seems like something you can achieve. I was thinking maybe you were thinking about acknowledgement that these harms were caused by the outside society, but hopefully that's encouraging that you can heal yourselves. And I
think that's a big part of it. I mean, yeah, once we acknowledge it, we will start healing ourselves, and I've seen that happening.